How are you?
I'm very good.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Ngọc. I'm from class discovery 4 and 2 of TC. My birthday is the 13th of November in 2010. I study at Mercury School.
Alright, thank you, Trilin. Very nice to meet you. Now, welcome to your Ielts speaking test. I want us to start first with part 1. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Alright, let's talk about being patient. What do you do while you're waiting for something? Example, a bus.
Well, when I'm waiting for a bus or maybe my friends, I usually watch my phone or sometimes I read books. Then I read and I wait for them.
Why do you read books?
Because books make me feel I can be more relaxed when I wait for them. Because I don't like to watch the cars go from way to way on the road because it's too boring.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book is like mental books, or sometimes it's like criminal mental book.
Alright. So, have you ever lost your patience while waiting for something?
I think yes, because it was like the first time I lost it when I wait for my friends. Like we have talked together that we went to a supermarket for the weekend, but I don't know why that she didn't came as early, so I was so angry that I go back and
Alright, I understand. So, are you generally a patient person?
I think yes, but in some situation I can't wait too long. Like I still can wait for them, but it just like a little time for something.
Alright, sounds good. So, are people in Vietnam generally patient?
I think some people are patient, but some are not. There are two sides of them. But
The people who are not patient, why do you think they are not patient?
I think because waiting for someone or something makes them feel very bored. Like they have to wait a day or a month for just a letter from their friends. Like their fortune friends or their pet friends, that make them feel very bored.
Alright. Now, let's move on to part 2 of your speaking test. And we are going to be talking about an interesting old object. I want you to describe an old interesting object that your family has. I want you to tell me about what it is, where it came from, and how long your family has kept it. And explain why your family thinks this object is interesting. I'm going to give you 1 minute to prepare something to say, and then we'll talk. Okay, Thank you. Are you ready to speak about an interesting old object?
Yes.
All right.
That interesting things that my family kept was an old picture. I think my grandparents had kept it for 20 years. The reason that my grandparents kept it because it's an old picture which my grandparents found it when they are cleaning the garage, and then they watched it. It was just like a picture of a family or like an army from an old time. And my grandparents think that it was an old picture from the war when Vietnam fight with the American. It is like now it was very old and it came to black and white picture. So my grandparents had put it in like on a bookshelf for keeping it. And it was like a picture. I think I remember almost of it. It have a picture of an army. They're very happy, and there behind it there are like two tanks or something like that. And it was just like an old picture from the history.
All right. Why does your family think this object is interesting?
My family thinks that it was interesting because the Vietnamese and America war was happened a long time ago, and it's like an old thing that we can get to know about what happens before the war and how the army has been saved Vietnam.
All right. That's very interesting. Now, let's talk about the value of the past. Why people like to keep things that remind them of the past?
I think people like to keep things from the past because sometimes they have a big memories that is important. Like in some house or some families, they have objects like pictures, map, or maybe guns from the old generation. Maybe they have fight with the enemies that have invaded Vietnam, and they kept it. It's just like an object that is important for their family because how the soldiers have fight and how they save our country.
All right. So do you think that objects that were made in the past are better than the ones that are modern?
I think that is not because the world are improved every day, and maybe the things in the past it was just the first generation of it, and now we're upgraded into a newer generation with more like gadgets or sometimes more appliances.
And one more question. Do you think that all historical buildings should be kept?
I think yes, because like in a way we have maybe like a bridge or something like that. It was very important because when we kept it, it was in a fight in the long time ago, maybe about the 15th centuries, and it was talk about like how people in the past have fight with the enemies that invade from China, and also there are many things just like guns or maybe like the old tech, and maybe there are some books about the history in the past.
All right. Thank you, Chilin. We've reached the end of your Ielts test. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Goodbye.